So following the Celtics' loss 115-111 against the Golden State Warriors here at TD Garden, we're here to break down the late game execution that went down here at TD Garden, as this game was ultimately decided by a handful of plays.
Yeah.
And we're here to break it down. This segment is powered by 1-in-100. Head over to 1in100.co, your go-to site to win tickets to the Super Bowl. That's right, the big game down in Atlanta. Head over to 1in100.co. You can also enter to win tickets to see the Celtics in future games along with the Bruins. That is 1in100.co. Fellas, handful of plays that we could dissect, handful of plays that we could call game-defining plays, but at the end of the day, I feel like the Celtics sort of shot themselves in the foot in the sense that they did have a lot of opportunities to close this game out. Some would say that they should have won this game, but one thing that I took away from the last few plays was guys like Marcus Smart and guys like Marcus Morris taking those big shots and big stretches throughout the game, big moments. Now, the narrative throughout the regular season has been before, right? Remember the first couple of months where the Celtics were pretty much having Kyrie Irving take over in the late fourth quarter stretches where we said, all right, well, it can't always be Kyrie, right? Kyrie Irving can't just always carry this team. It has to be the other guys. But then some of Celtics Nation, at least throughout my Twitter feed, are saying, well, why did Marcus Morris take that shot? Well, why did you get the ball to Kyrie? Kyrie was going off in the fourth quarter. Chris, let's start with you. Where do you fall in this conversation?
Well, I mean, the Warriors, everyone looks at them as a team that can score, 150 points at will. They're an elite defensive team, and you saw it tonight.
People
with Klay.
forget that.
People forget it, yeah. And Klay Thompson locked down Kyrie. He took him out of the game. He took the ball out of his hands, and frankly, the Celtics didn't know what to do without it. And you had Marcus Morris pulling up for three. You had Marcus Smart taking big shots too, and that's fine, but there wasn't a secondary plan there, at least in my opinion, watching that. It was a lot of ball watching, and once the ball was out of Kyrie's hand, it was like, oh, crap. We didn't, like, where do we go
now
from
what?
Here?
Yeah, and that's the thing. You want the ball in Kyrie's hands, and I still do, and I'm probably as harsh on him as anybody of, like, getting everybody else involved.
Right.
I want the ball in his hands to make a play.
Right.
Whether if that's scoring, but you see what he can do as a magician with the ball in terms of getting the spots. So let him have the ball and determine whether or not he can get his own or get in the lane and kind of get them to have to, converge on him and then kick. And then, okay, you know what? If Kyrie can't get it, kick to a guy who's open.
Right.
And if it's not Marcus Smart, hopefully from three.
Yeah, and you kind of said it. Like, a lot of times he was off the ball in that last minute, and some responsibility does fall on Kyrie.
Come get it.
Come get the
ball.
ball.
It was like a minute 15 left.
Yeah, move a little bit off the ball.
He didn't move.
And he didn't move. And again, that's an elite defensive team, and so he was put in a really tough spot, and he kept the Celtics in it for a long time. He was phenomenal tonight, but the Celtics do need to have some alternatives there in late game execution.
Yeah, I think if you look at the silver lining here, you look at those guys who are not afraid to take those shots, especially against the best team in the world, the best team in the NBA. What's going to happen down the stretch when they feel a lot more comfortable the next time they face a team like the Golden State Warriors? What's going to happen down the stretch where they're playing, a top-notch team, neck and neck, and the ball's in their hands, and they're not afraid to take those shots? And I think Kyrie Irving encourages that.
Yeah.
He's talked about what Marcus Smart's three-point game means to the starting lineup. He's talked about how well offensively the Celtics are when he's knocking down that shot. He makes one big shot. Marcus Smart has no fear. He's not worried whatsoever.
But I don't want
taking another three-pointer.
I want Tatum taking it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I don't want Marcus Smart taking that three.
Even Marcus Morris over Marcus Smart.
One interesting takeaway, too, is Jason Tatum actually went scoreless. And I know he had an electric third quarter, huge third quarter. Celtics really needed that in the second half. Yeah. But he did go scoreless in the fourth quarter, which is something that sort of was eye-opening for me. Right.
Yeah, no, Jason Tatum's got it. And again, it was good for him play against Golden State in kind of a new role. A year ago, Jason Tatum was just kind of standing in the corner at this point.
He had hit the rookie wall at this point last year. Yeah, you're right.
So his role has completely changed a year later. So I think it was kind of a good litmus test for him and for the Celtics team. But you're right. I mean, the late game execution, unfortunately, it falls so much on Kyrie because Gordon Hayward isn't Gordon Hayward.
Right.
And we thought that would be the number 2 guy. And now Gordon Hayward's not even a top 5 guy on this team.
Well, one of the headline quotes that we heard out of the Celtics locker room actually came from Kyrie Irving when a question was asked about the playoff-like atmosphere that we saw here at TD Garden.
He shot it down.
It down really quickly and said, hey, listen, this is a regular season game. This isn't a playoff-like atmosphere. This is a regular season game. When the playoffs come, the playoffs are the playoffs. This is still January. I mean, he didn't add that part. I'm sort of improvising here. I think what he meant by that was we'll be a different team come playoff time.
Yeah.
This was a great test. We're at a really high level right now playing against the Golden State Warriors. Look out for us in the playoffs.
Yeah, he's right. I mean, the playoffs are just completely different.
That's what he
it's a
meant,
big
right?
regular
That's the way
season
I
game.
took it, at least.
And also, if he just real quick note, if he was talking about the crowd and the atmosphere itself, he's right. It wasn't as loud as I thought it was going to be.
Playoff level.
It wasn't playoff-like. I thought the Raptors game a couple weeks ago, the OT win, was much louder. And, I mean, it was a great atmosphere in here, but he's right. Playoffs are to a much different level. Yeah,
listen, I mean, again, the Celtics aren't playing necessarily to beat Golden State right now.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But they're playing and try to figure out, okay, if we can play with Golden State, that does mean we should be the best team in the East. And the record doesn't show it.
Right.
But Indiana's going to fall back, right? So if they can pass
Oladipo,
Philly, if they can pass Philly and get in that 3 spot, you might play Brooklyn in the first round. That's about as good as it's going to get.
Yeah.
Could we see another winning streak? Possibly.
Totally. Yeah.
I think so.
I have positive takeaways from tonight's game, honestly.
Yeah, I think we're all on the same page here. All right, that's going to do it for us here at TD Garden. We'll see how the Celtics bounce back here from their loss against the Golden State Warriors. But let us know in the comment section, what do you think? Is this a humongous turning point? I know it's a loss, but do you see a lot of positive takeaways from this game via the Boston Celtics? Let us know. CLNS Media, hit us up on the YouTube messages.